Greetings and salutations. You are now conversing with the champ.
Yikes.
My name is Marcus White.
And I am Le Champion, Nick Cavalli. Because, Chris Jericho can do it, then I can do it.
Yeah, apparently you don't need the belt to be the champion.
No, I'm still the Champion.
And we welcome you, as always, to the Wrevolution.
Yeah, that thing. The thing with the point and the Wrevolution. That thing.
Yeah, a little off kilter tonight, aren't you?
Look, man, I'm tired as can be. I fell asleep watching NXT. By the way, for those of you who are somehow unaware, it's Saturday.
What?
Yep.
What are you talking about?
It's Saturday. 1 o'clock in the morning. On Saturday.
Fair point. It is Saturday.
So we're a little behind.
Just a tad.
Just a teens.
Just a tad. No, man, it's still Wednesday night.
I mean, it kind of feels like it. We just got done watching NXT and AEW. Albeit the greatest hits of.
Yeah. Due to work conflicts and such, we did have to postpone our regular taping of the Wednesday Night Wars to Friday night. Now, very early Saturday morning. So, yeah, but as always, we will never leave out a show. We are SmackDown. We are going to always bring you guys the Wrevolution Pro Wrestling Podcast.
Look, if we're going to miss a show, it's not going to be the Wednesday Night Wars.
No, absolutely not.
It's just not an option.
Now, I will update you guys real quick. Due to other work conflicts, you probably won't be getting the weekend wrap-up until Sunday. Just due to... We're very busy people. So.
Look, man, I need money.
Yeah.
And you're not sending me money. So...
So, without further ado...
Every single time.
It's happened like once.
Thrice.
Once.
Thrice.
Once.
Chill. This is thrice.
Chill, yo, biscuits. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump right into NXT.
But aren't biscuits better warm? Sorry, I'm full of dad jokes today.
This is what I gotta deal with, man.
Yeah, I was doing really good when I went to pick up the new lenses.
The new lenses. All right, so let's jump right into NXT here. Kick things right off with the first of the two cage matches: Tegan Nox versus Dakota Kai. Right out the gate, no build up, nothing. Let's just jump right into it. And this was a good way to start the show, I thought.
Not a bad match. Hey, Nigel, could you break down the rules for us for the steel cage match? Well, you can win by either pinfall or submission, or you can escape the cage. And in my mind, I'm like,
why?
Why?
Why can you escape the cage?
Why is that a way to win? Why can the referee open the door for you? You should at least have to climb out. Like, the door should be chained.
So I do appreciate how they at least tried to, explain where Tegan Nox, she's so impassioned about this rivalry that she wants to win by any means necessary. So they tried to justify it that way, but it's like, nope, it's still stupid.
It's still literally one of the stupidest gimmicks you have is that you can escape the cage.
I don't like. But regardless of that one aspect that I didn't like, I love the match. I thought it was amazing. I thought this was the best match in the feud so far. I mean, don't get me wrong, the the No Holds Barred or Street Fight, that was pretty good, but
yeah.
This was just a tiny bit better, I thought.
I would just like to point out, NXT, so very disappointed in you in one way this week. You ended both cage matches with an escape. Come on. AEW literally showed you, two weeks ago, how to put on a classic cage match. You're escape, guys.
No, I agree with you on one. I'm not going to agree with you on the second one, and we'll get to that. But there is a very valid reason, I thought, to why they did the last one.
Look, it was a cool spot, but dude, pin them in the ring and then shove them out.
But we've already established, really, wins and losses don't mean anything in WWE. They never have, never will. So
true.
I mean, hell, you can be Roman Reigns and come out, I'm
I'm next.
I'm next. So, yeah, it doesn't matter. You can just come out and call your shot, which is essentially what happens at the end of the night anyway, because what has he done? But...
come back from injury. And lost a match.
So, yeah. No, this was an amazing match, though. I thought, again, best of the feud so far. Really building Tegan Nox as that, like, I'm willing to do anything to win kind of, but still super babyface, but, like, if I don't like you, I'm going to destroy you mentality. That Lady Kane aspect really coming out.
If I don't beat you, I will set myself on fire.
Yeah. And speaking of Lady Kane, we get a choke slam, actually, from the top rope at one point when they were going for an escape the cage spot. By the way, I really got annoyed the fact that, like, at one point she had Dakota on the ropes and then she just immediately went to escape the cage. And I was like, pin her!
Yep.
What are you doing, Tegan?
Welcome to WWE.
Yeah. Then we also get this was huge, Tegan massive crossbody from the top of the cage. That was fantastic. And then we get the inevitable Raquel Gonzalez interference. Multiple spots where, like, Tegan's trying to escape the cage and Raquel puts herself either in front of the door or just kind of standing outside the cage, like, hey, I'm here, so if you drop down, I'm gonna kill you or something. I don't even know. It's just stupid.
Just drop down and take
the beating. Yeah, like, whatever. So, yeah, at one point, Raquel slams the door shut. Dakota ends up hitting the door, and then we get a shiniest wizard for the near fall. I thought that was it. Yeah, the fact that she kicked out, I was like, huh? So, yeah, but then we get another spot where Tegan's trying to escape the cage, and then Dakota's trying to escape the door, and then Tegan slams the door into the leg of Dakota Kai.
The surgically repaired knee!
Yeah, so Dakota's, like, freaking out in the ring. So then Raquel, this was a smart spot, takes the cage door as Tegan's coming down, and then uses it to pin Tegan on the side of the cage. So she's trapped, and Dakota just kind of crawls out, and she gets the victory. So that's something that I don't think I've ever seen. If you're going to do the escape the cage spot, it's unique. It's something we've never seen before. So props to you, NXT. Props to you.
Hey, Marcus.
What's up?
Just wanted to throw this out there. Rivalry's not done.
No, absolutely not.
Take over Tampa. Hell in a Cell.
Yes, sir.
Wow, it's almost like I booked this for you, Vince. Or Hunter, or whoever is booking this feud. William Regal.
Some mixture, some conglomerate of all three.
It's just Kevin Dunn.
Oh, wait, but that would mean he actually could book, right?
No, because we'll wind up not getting the match. No, it's Kevin Dunn's massive teeth.
So, by the way, funniest part of this is as Dakota wins, Morrow with the very unbiased commentary, "Oh, son of a bitch!" Just
and me going, "Wow, you can say that on NXT?"
Yeah, Morrow, and it's funny because I'm not the only person to address Morrow's unbiased commentary. Yep. Someone else calls him out on that too. Get to that a little bit later, but we get a Finn Balor promo. And he talks about how, Walter, you forced my hand. And you're not going to like my reaction. See you sooner than you think. So, Finn possibly popping up on NXT UK here in the near future.
Walter.
Means I might have to tune in here for the next couple episodes and see when our boy Prince Devitt pops up.
I would love to, but that's 2 more hours.
We'll talk about it. So, next we get a Rhea Ripley promo. She's, earlier in the week, she went to visit the Tampa Bay Buccaneers arena, or excuse me, the XFL Tampa Bay Vipers.
That would be Raymond James Stadium.
Yes. Well, they had XFL stuff all over this arena. So
Shocking.
Really don't want you to know whose arena this really is.
You know, is it funny that Vince just happened to pick one of the XFL markets for this year's and next year's WrestleMania?
It's almost like he's a businessman.
St. Louis the year after? Go get those Battlehawk fans?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You heard the news, right?
No.
The St. Louis Battlehawks are opening the upper deck because ticket sales are sold out for the rest of the year.
That's amazing. I am so happy for the XFL.
I'm just happy for the city of St. Louis.
Oh,
F
yeah.
you, Rams.
Seriously, though. Screw the Rams. Freaking Jared Goff. But,
anyways, back to the wrestling.
yeah,
thing.
so Rhea Ripley just kind of walks around the arena and talks about how this is her dream, yada, yada, yada. How when she got into NXT, people were immediately comparing her to Charlotte, which... Huh? I mean, I guess she's also tall. That's like... That's the only comparison I see to her and Charlotte.
Well, my favorite thing is at the end of the promo when she calls out, what's her name? Oh my God, how am I blanking on this right now? Kairi Sane.
How so?
She's on the pirate ship. She's calling her out.
Well, yeah.
I can't be the only one who saw that, right?
Yeah, I think it's just you, buddy.
Oh, man.
But yeah, Rhea talks about how... Yeah, Rhea talks about how apparently people have made comparisons to her and Charlotte her entire career. So she spent her whole career trying to be as far, like, as different from Charlotte as possible. It's kind of like the... This isn't a phase, Mom, type of gimmick.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which just makes... I like the Rhea gimmick. Now you're just making it cringe.
Rhea Gipley. I heard it coming out, and I was going to lose it.
Rhea Gipley, yes. No.
I quite like Rhea Gipley as well, Marcus.
Yep.
It's one of those nights.
It is all the late. It is very late.
Neither of us have slept much this week.
No, we didn't. So, yeah, Rhea Gipley. I like the gimmick. Why you gotta make it the cringe, like, I'm doing this to stand out. Like, this isn't my real...
Look, Mom, I'm different.
Like, she even says, like, oh, I'm being the real me, but I'm also not the real me because I'm putting on an act. Like,
I'm
what?
not like most girls.
Yeah, it didn't make sense. But then she says the Ric Flair thing of, to be the man, you gotta beat the man, and I'm gonna beat the man. You're gonna beat Becky?
Well, first of all, you're gonna beat Becky. Second of all, you're the champion. Shouldn't you be the man? Doesn't she have to be? You totally could have been like, you gotta beat the man to be the man, Charlotte.
I guess the whole idea is that...
Yeah, I get.
Charlotte is still the vet. She's the 25, 50-time champion at this point. Like, I don't know. Like,
that's why it would have been the perfect promo to just been like, I'm better than you. And you know it.
Would anyone buy that, though? I mean, I love Rhea. I do. But, I mean... No one's going to buy the, I'm better than you, I'm the GOAT, whatever. It's Charlotte Flair. Like, yeah. I like it. Like, so, it was a little cringe, but, I got the point across that, hey, I'm going to beat Charlotte at Mania. This is my first time at Mania, so this is going to be exciting for me, and I'm going to get the job done. It's point across. Cool. Next, we get... I don't want to.
Say it.
I don't want to.
Say it.
No. Green hair grows back.
Shotzi Blackheart versus Chelsea Green.
Nick, I don't want to. I don't want to.
Good work, NXT.
I don't want to talk about this match, Nick.
Nope. Go ahead.
This is a match. NXT, it's like you took everything that I hate about NXT and just put it all into one one area. Just
no, Shotzi Blackheart looked very, very Shotzi Blackheart.
Hey, Chelsea Green looked better.
You know what? Out of all of the women's matches that I watched tonight, this was the worst. And that includes the one with Oliva Bates in it.
I mean, I'll be fair. I guess Chelsea in the ring with Shotzi looks like a freaking 5-star ring general. Shotzi is so bad. She is so bad. And the tank, man. The tank. It's so goofy. It is peak NXT goofiness. And
so, spoiler alert, this is where I fall asleep because I don't care.
Yeah, Chelsea wins with the unprettier.
Yay.
So she advances in the whole NXT women's qualifier type deal. So cool.
At least it's not Shotzi Blackheart.
Oh, yeah, seriously though. So next, Keith Lee comes out and bask in his glory. We haven't seen him in a minute, so the crowd's just soaking it in, man. And
drink it in, man.
And he doesn't get 2 words out before he's interrupted by Cameron Grimes. NXT, you're killing me.
Really off the chain these last 2 segments here at NXT.
So he comes out, and I guess when you're in the ring with Keith Lee, whatever momentum my man had before just
gone. No one likes you.
Yeah. They were eating him alive. Every time he put the mic up to his lips, he was getting the Roman Reigns after he beat Taker treatment. Just massive boos.
This is my yard now.
Then Keith Lee would go to speak, and you'd hear the whole crowd go, shh. And then Cameron would immediately interrupt and boo. So it was. Keith Lee actually starts laughing at one point because Cameron Grimes goes, shut your mouth. Keep giving me the reaction. And then Keith just can't help but laugh because it's so bad.
Well, first of all, what is Cameron Grimes on the mic?
It's like they're angry 13-year-old kids screaming at his parents.
It's so cringy.
It is bad, man. It's not good. So Keith Lee, while laughing, goes, guys, I want to hear what he has to say. So Cameron Grimes goes, apparently, which just handing out title shots, I guess, huh, Regal?
Welcome to NXT.
Gives Cameron Grimes a shot at the NXT North American Championship next week. Keith Lee, clearly not okay with this, immediately shoves Grimes out the ring, and he goes, okay, you want a match against me next week? It's going to be an equal opportunity ass whooping. So that was a thing, and that's going to be a match next week. I can't wait.
Cameron Grimes, please just go crawl back under the rock they found you under.
Let's get grimy.
I'm hoping that what happened is not that it's just the Keith Lee effect. It's that the crowd at Full Sail finally went, wow, this guy is so bad.
Nah,
he
man.
can't talk. He can kind of wrestle.
He's not bad in the ring.
He can't talk.
He can't talk, no. And his gimmick is all the cringe.
Let's get grimy.
I guarantee you, though, you put him in a singles match with anyone other than Keith, he'll be over. They'll be chanting, let's get grimy again. I mean, hell, you even still had some people when they were saying no one likes you going, yes, we do. So
what? Who? Okay. Camera moment. I'm going to stare you down. For those of you who were chanting, yes, we do, in regards to liking Cameron Grimes, rethink your entire life.
Yeah.
I want you to turn to your husband or wife and realize they're probably not the right person for you. Turn to your children and realize that they were mistakes made with that wrong person. And realize that your whole life is a lie because you like Cameron Grimes. What is wrong with you?
Okay.
I want you to look at your dog and go, wow, I don't even like Cocker Spaniels. what am I doing with my life? Because it takes a little bit of a heart-to-heart from somebody who has such intelligence and intuition to realize that some of these things in life are just fleeting, passing. But they're phases. Just like your love for Cameron Grimes is a phase. And if it isn't, you're insane. You need to seek medical attention immediately. And that right there was a better promo than Cameron Grimes cut.
Yeah, it wasn't the angry screaming into the microphone.
So, I mean, take it with a grain of salt, because obviously I'm cutting a wrestling-style promo here just to show you how bad Cameron Grimes' promo work is. But yeah, seriously, Cameron Grimes fans, please rethink.
Yeah.
But don't, like, divorce your husband and, like, disown your children. That's a little far.
Just a tiny bit. Yes, so, yeah, Cameron Grimes, just all the bad. I don't like him. Please get off my TV soon. Or at least change your gimmick, please. Because if you weren't so cringe, maybe I wouldn't hate you, because you're not bad in the ring.
What is the gimmick? I have chest hair and a top hat?
Yeah, I'm weird. But that's like 99% of like wrestling gimmicks are that I'm weird. But like
all wrestlers are weird.
Yeah, but you're just a different breed, my guy, and that's not a good thing for you. So, yeah, hopefully NXT finds some direction for this young man, because, yeah, he certainly needs it. But next, we get kind of an interesting little segment here. So this was earlier in the day. Austin Theory was outside talking to a cameraman, and he calls himself the GOAT, the greatest of all time.
Which he is.
All at the hot piping young age of 22 years old.
Austin Theory is wrestling in NXT, and I'm sitting in someone's basement making a podcast.
Yep. We're talking about said person wrestling on NXT. That makes us just as good, right? So, hey, if he's the GOAT, then we're the GOAT of wrestling podcasts.
I mean, we are, though, so.
So, yes, Isaiah Swerve comes out, and he's like, bruh, like, what are you doing? Like, you're not the GOAT. Like, you've had, like, all the 4 matches on NXT. But you know what? Since you're so eager to come up, how about you have a match in Swerve's house tonight? So
whose house?
Swerve's house.
Whose house?
So it's gonna be Austin Theory
Nap
versus
time.
Isaiah Swerve Scott. So I was like, oh, that's gonna be a cool match. You know, we're probably gonna see it next week. Nope, it's tonight. So hey, I'm cool with it. I like that. So it's gonna be later on down the card. Next we get Undisputed Era though versus Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch. And this, I'm gonna just be honest with you, this was one of the better matches of the night. This was really good. Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch, always fantastic in the ring. Undisputed Era, obviously, Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish, amazing. So these two teams have great chemistry in the ring. It was hard hitting, it was fast paced, everything you want out of a tag team match. NXT, I mean, my God, when they decide to put on great matches, they just always hit. Like, they never miss. And this was one of those, like, great, like, TV matches that I just love seeing on NXT. Fantastic job from all 4 men in this match. Undisputed Era does pick up the victory here. But, you know, I like that we're seeing Oni and Danny appearing more and more on TV now, kind of building the tag division up a little bit, because I had forgotten, actually, when we had our little argument on Sunday, that these guys were in the tag division, but granted, they just came back because Oni was kind of
dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of not in the company for a little bit. So,
get away from me with your coronavirus.
Stop it. So, then after, they cut a promo, and they say, Kyle says that he likes to win, and then he wants to know where their titles are. And then Bobby says, their patience is running thin. So then out comes the Broserweights. And Matt Riddle goes, bro, I know that Stallion Riddle would love to rematch you. And Stallion Pete would love to rematch you. And I know that the biggest, baddest stallion of them
The
all,
most elegant stallion of them all.
Stallion Regal would love, and then mid-sentence gets attacked by the grizzled young vets who come out and stake their claim for the NXT Tag Team Championship, says that they don't care about a rematch clause and they aren't waiting on Regal. So this has gotten a little bit more complicated now. Now GYV putting their hats in the ring now. So we'll see where this goes.
Absolutely.
I will say, the more I see of them, the more I'm starting to get a little bit more on board with GYV. They've never been bad in the ring. It's just their gimmick was, or not even their gimmick, just their personality never just messed with me as much. But, the more I hear them on the mic, the more they talk, they're not bad. So, alright, GYV, show me what you got. And then next we get the match that I was hyped for, and that's Austin Theory versus Isaiah Swerve Scott. And this match did not disappoint. It was fast-paced, flippy stuff. It was amazing.
Well, what do you expect?
Yeah, it was fantastic. Austin Theory quickly becoming one of my favorite wrestlers in NXT. Swerve, you already know, it's Swerve's house. So, fantastic match from these two. Great chemistry. I do wish that Swerve had got the victory here, only because I understand you want to build up Austin Theory. He's newer. You're trying to get him up the ranks, but you've had Swerve around for a little bit, and minus his one opportunity, he hasn't really done a lot. So
That's true.
I don't know, but I'm not angry about it. I mean, I'm still cool with Austin Theory picking up the win here.
Yeah, and I think one of the important things to remember is Austin Theory comes from a long line of guys coming from Evolve that have all made their way up through the card. Matt Riddle and Keith Lee and Tommaso Ciampa. So he's one of those breed. So they're probably trying to push him a little bit harder than they would be trying to push somebody they found from just one of the one of the not so mainstream indies.
Yeah. Kind of sucks that if you're like in the Evolve pipeline, you're just like immediately jammed into the main event scene. It kind of seems like, but not that none of those guys deserve it because they're all amazing.
Every single one of them have come out and proven that they are everything that they're touted as.
They're all fantastic. It's just I hate to see NXT does have such a jam-packed roster of talent. You do see guys like Swerve get leapfrogged, and it kind of sucks, especially because they've been around NXT now for a couple years, so to see them not really come up to that next step, it kind of sucks. I mean, even now, NXT, with becoming that third brand, not only do you have Evolve guys coming in and leapfrogging, but now you've got guys coming back from the main roster, like Finn Balor, and just being like, yep, this is my show now.
Yep.
So it's, NXT's kind of this big cluster of talent, and you kind of tell they don't know exactly all what to do with it. Like,
I'm still dying to see Vince McMahon on an episode of Hoarders.
I mean, it's just
Vince, you can't keep all of them, but I want them.
But the thing is, though, I don't even feel like that in regards to like what's happening with NXT. That's Triple H. I mean, you've got Triple H would just love everything to be NXT. So the fact that he's like, you've already got your mass amount of talent on your base roster, then you're taking guys from the main roster. You've got the Evolve pipeline. You've got NXT UK. You've combined the Cruiserweight roster in your division now, too. So it's like you've got this big amalgamation of rosters on NXT. Like, what even is NXT anymore? Like, there's so much talent. You almost feel like there needs to be, like, another night of NXT. Because 2 hours just isn't enough for that much talent. Or have some type of, like, NXT Dark where, like, you have, like, a way to showcase. Or, like, even, I'm sorry, get rid of 205 Live. Just make it, like, NXT 2 or something. Literally. And just, no one cares about it. I promise you no one's that invested
NXT North.
I guarantee you no one is that invested in whatever storylines are happening on 205 Live. Just cancel it, call it the second show of NXT, and then there you go. That's where you showcase some of your younger, more fresh talent, and then that way, people could get a little bit more action. Hell, you could expand some of the titles a little bit. You could add some more titles to the division, do something, but you just have so much talent on NXT alone. It's kind of ridiculous. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it's a good problem to have, but it's still a problem. So they definitely need to consider that down. And I'm sure that Triple H has considered this. I mean, I'm sure he's talked about it with some board members and his creative staff. So I'm sure down the line we'll see some fix for this. I mean, this is the first year NXT's been on TV. So maybe something will happen down the line. Maybe when Vince inevitably hands the reins over to Triple H, maybe everything is NXT. It's just Monday night NXT, Friday night NXT.
Welcome to NXT Monday Night Raw.
Something like that. Just don't even call it Raw or SmackDown. Just Monday night NXT. Wednesday night. Yeah, just something like that. So yeah, I'm interested to see what happens down the line with NXT. Because, like I said, I'm sure Hunter has ideas for the future. So, I'm looking forward to it. Next, we get one of the better segments of the night. In fact, I think one of the best segments of the night. And that was the Johnny Gargano interview with Mauro Ranallo. So, for those of you guys, there's a lot of people out there that they say this not just about Johnny, but about a lot of the indie style guys that, oh, they're amazing in the ring, but, you know, they can't cut a promo to save their lives. They have no mic skills, or their mic skills are weak. I mean, people said that about AJ forever. That was his biggest critique coming into WWE was the guy can't talk on the mic, which clearly he's proven you wrong.
Right.
So that was what people said about Johnny Gargano. So this was his night to kind of, you know, prove people wrong. So he sits down with Mauro. Mauro, thank you, Johnny, for being here for this interview. And you can already tell Johnny's a little agitated, a little unnerved. He asked Mauro a question. He goes, Mauro, who's the only guy in NXT to show up to your red carpet premiere? Says, well, it was you, Johnny, and you'd have no idea how much that means to me. And Johnny's like, yeah, that's cool. But just thought I'd talk about that. And then Mauro, again, tries to get back to the question of why, like, you know, what's up with the new Johnny, with the sneak attacks, to which Johnny immediately gets upset and goes, sneak attacks? I never sneaked attack Tommaso. I ran out, I looked him in his eye, and then clocked him. I was wearing a bright blue sweatshirt when I attacked Tommaso Ciampa last week. Like, there was no sneak attack. He saw me coming. Attacked him right in the face. And Mauro goes, well, with all due respect. No, Mauro, with all due respect, you have no idea what I've been through. And Mauro asked the question, Johnny, I just want to know why. You want to know why? Everyone wants to know why. You know why already, Mauro. You know why. But you know that if you admit it, it'll make you a liar. You haven't called me since Portland, Mauro. Since Portland. But you have all the time in the world to go on NXT and call me Johnny Turncoat. And then every time Tommaso Ciampa pops up on screen, you're going to scream, Daddy's home. Every time he comes out. And at this point, Johnny's getting in Mauro's face. He's grabbing him on the shoulders, pulling up on his shirt. So then at this point, Mauro says, you know, guys, I'm uncomfortable. I can't do this. Gets up and he leaves. And Johnny says, oh, what? No Mamma Mia's, huh? And then he looks right into the camera. And he says, next week, Ciampa, we do things my way. So, fantastic promo work from Johnny Gargano. No jokes, all serious. Just really kind of flipping the narrative, huh? I mean, saying, hey, like, you know, you guys think I'm the bad guy, but what have I really done? Everything I did it right in Ciampa's face. I was, like, you know, calling out Mauro kind of for his BS. Like, hey, I was the only guy that was really there for you. I've been your friend. You haven't called me since Portland, and you want to go and call me names on television and be unbiased. So I like that from Johnny Gargano, kind of calling out Mauro and just It's something you don't really see from a lot of heels. Just kind of, I mean, a lot of heels do try to flip the narrative, but they do it with like, I'm not the bad guy, you're all the bad guy. But like, their point never really holds any water. But this was actually based kind of in reality, so I liked it. I thought the promo was good.
Yeah, it was definitely fire. It was a really good way for the crowd to kind of connect with Johnny Gargano, but also to feel that sympathy for Mauro Ranallo, because we all know how Mauro struggles with quite a few mental illness issues.
Yes.
So this was one of those like kind of blurred line of reality promos. It was very, very interesting.
Yeah, it was getting a little uncomfortable when Johnny was like screaming in Mauro's face and grabbing onto him. I was like, and then when Mauro just got up to leave, I was like, oh, this is hard to watch. So, really good job by Johnny and Mauro and NXT for making a believable segment. That was great. Lastly, we get The Dream, Velvatine Dream, versus Roderick Strong in the last of the 2 steel cage matches on NXT this week. And as it hurts me to say, I think this was the better of the 2 steel cage matches.
Yeah, not by much, but yeah.
Not by much, but definitely, in my opinion at least, I think it was definitely the better of the 2. It's close, but these 2 just put on a really good match.
Hi, Marina.
Yeah. As soon as they both get in the ring, they immediately fight. No, just wasting no time at all. These 2 just going back and forth. They have such good chemistry in the ring. And they're both fantastic performers. Velvatine Dream looked so much better this week than he did this last match. So you can tell he's kind of got the cobwebs out.
Thank God.
Got his wrestling legs underneath him. So we're back to Velvatine Dream putting on amazing matches. And he showed you the athleticism from this guy. My God, it's so good. We do see at one point Roderick Strong's wife come out and slide Roddy a kendo stick through the cage. By the way, just quick note, on the NXT steel cage, I still love the NXT cage. So much better than the base cage that WWE normally uses. So it's a little smaller than the base WWE cage.
Absolutely.
But it looks so much better. And, it's in Full Sail, so it can't be, 30 feet tall. So it's a nice cage. I love it. But yeah, she slides him a kendo stick. There's at one point, Roderick Strong is climbing to escape the cage, which again, we have the escape the cage stipulation, especially in a feud like this when 2 men just want to beat the hell out of each other. Why is this a thing? Why would either of the 2 men be trying to escape the cage? What do you get? You get locked in the cage and then you leave and, oh, I won. Yay. What does that do? It's so stupid, WWE. It doesn't make sense. It's just the dumbest thing. But yeah, Roderick Strong's trying to climb out and escape the cage. Velveteen Dream grabs his tights and pulls them slightly down, exposing the bare back of Roderick Strong, to which the crowd starts chanting, "Asshole, asshole." Never heard that chant used like that before.
Yeah, never change Full Sail.
We then get, at one point, we get an Olympic slam from the top rope for a near fall. I thought that put Velveteen away, but it didn't. We then get 2 Dream Valley drivers. And at this point, Velveteen's getting ready to escape the cage, and out comes the Undisputed Era, all wielding some form of weapon. So Dream grabs the kendo stick that Marina had brought in earlier, starts going to town on the Undisputed Era, kicking the side of the cage, preventing them from entering the cage. And then, at one point, Adam Cole gets in the cage. Roderick Strong's trying to escape. And Dream has his hands on Roderick Strong and then shoves him out the cage, giving Roderick Strong the victory. At this point, we're all like, what? And then he closes the cage door.
Handcuffs the door shut.
and turns around to look at Adam Cole.
It was in absolute disbelief.
It was the master plan all along. He gets his hands on Adam Cole. Was Roddy just the means to an end here? He didn't give any care about Roderick Strong or his family or nothing. He was just using them all to get to Adam Cole. Okay, Dream, smarter than you look. All up here. So immediately starts going to town on Adam Cole. He's beating him up, smashing him with the kendo stick. Undisputed Era is trying to get in the ring. He's smacking them with the kendo stick. Roderick Strong gets back in the cage, and Velvatine just tees off on him with the kendo stick. He then hits Adam Cole with the Dream Valley Driver on a steel chair, and then grabs the NXT World Championship and then smacks Adam Cole in the face with it. And the last shot of NXT is Velvatine Dream on top of the cage holding the NXT World Championship. The Velvatine Dream has staked his claim for the title.
Match of the night.
You got nothing to say about that?
Not really. I mean, it was a good match and it was a good spot. The one thing is, it's a what have you done for me kind of thing. Like,
he's been injured.
And then he came back and is immediately thrust into the title scene.
Yeah, that's WWE.
I'm not getting back into that rant.
Well, who else would you... Real talk, who else would you want fighting Adam Cole? You can name me 3 other guys, then go ahead.
Wow, you're using my argument. Name 3 other people. 3 people worthy of it, too. That's the hard part. I can name a couple guys that I'd like to see, like Dijakovic, but he loses half of his matches.
And again, what has he done except lose?
Keith Lee has a title.
Mm-hmm. Walter has a title.
Well, if you didn't put him in the tag division, Matt Riddle, Finn Balor.
He's in the storyline with Walter.
Right.
But I would like to see Finn Balor versus...
And...
That's one.
No, and Matt Riddle. I'm counting that.
He has a title.
Yeah, but he shouldn't be in the tag division in the first place.
Oh, stop it.
I swear I can come up with one more. Can't be that hard. No. That ain't the answer, Chief.
Mm-hmm.
Austin Theory.
Austin Theory, who's had all of 4 matches on NXT.
More wins in the last month than Velvatine.
In the last month, but Velvatine's overall record's still better.
Velvatine has had significantly more opportunities.
Oh, okay.
I named 3 guys, therefore...
You named 3... Oh, yeah, 3 guys really deserving of that NXT championship, right? And one of them has a championship already. So, as I said, yep, Velvatine, clearly one of the only options you have to fight Adam Cole for the championship. And a really good option at that. So, whether you... Yeah, he's kind of being thrust right to the top, but, with storylines included, you really got nobody else, so...
Well, and to be entirely fair, like you said, it is WWE. It doesn't matter what your record is. They book 50-50 anyways, so... And
on top of that, I feel like we're kind of getting to the end of Velveteen Dream in NXT. Like, he's going... If I have to, do a little fancy booking here, I think Velveteen's probably going to go over Adam Cole at TakeOver Tampa. He'll probably get his run with the championship. He'll probably be there for another year or so. And then I think, Velveteen will have eventually not to say outgrown, but the way Vince looks at it, he's outgrown NXT, and he'll probably make his transition up to the main roster. I don't know. I could, unless Triple H fights, which he's probably going to fight super hard for Velveteen. But I feel like, that's probably where they're going. He's been there forever. He's definitely earned his opportunity with the belt. I feel like, and also I feel like Vince McMahon is probably going to want to do something with Undisputed Era too. There were reports that he was so happy when you had Adam Cole and Undisputed Era popping up on SmackDown and Raw, when you had that whole thing with Saudi Arabia, when you couldn't get talent back to the United States.
And then leading up to Survivor
Series. He loves Adam Cole. He loves the Undisputed Era. Unlike Sanity, where he's just going to rip them apart, he'd probably keep them together for a while, like the Shield. So I think you have real potential to move the Undisputed Era up to the main roster and probably have them do something really special up there. Whether you put them on SmackDown or Raw, it doesn't matter. Either show could use the boost from having talents Undisputed Era. Lord knows a certain show definitely could. I mean, hell, if you put Undisputed Era on SmackDown, I'm tuning in every week. I'm tuning in every week if I see Undisputed Era popping up on SmackDown.
You have fun with that.
Yep, and we review it too. So I
have fun with that.
Yep, we'd review it. So I hope to see Undisputed Era in the future do something huge on the main roster. I'd love to see Undisputed Era versus the Seth Rollins stable. I think that'd be an amazing fight. I'd love to see that. So you've got endless opportunities for these guys. And I feel like they've kind of done everything they can on NXT. The stable's kind of outgrown itself, I'd say. I mean, you've held every belt, literally almost every belt, minus the UK title. I think they didn't hold the Cruiserweight title either. So you've held every really major championship on NXT for the most part, and you've had all the storylines: Johnny Gargano, Keith Lee, like Tommaso Ciampa. You fought everyone. So yeah, there's not much left for them to do on NXT. I think, Vince will probably end up pulling them up to the main roster here, probably after Mania at some point. They'll probably pop up on the Raw after Mania. So,
yay.
So just a little fantasy booking there, but I feel like that's probably what's headed for NXT in the future. So that would be cool. My match of the night, I'm gonna have to say it's Austin Theory versus Isaiah Swerve Scott. This was hard because I liked both steel cage matches. I also was very hard to pick against the tag team match, but I felt like Swerve and Theory put on a very good match. They're the future of this business, so I'm going to give it to Swerve and Theory.
I'm going to go with the exact same match. It met my criteria for match of the night. I mean, it was fast-paced, high-octane. It was just a good match.
Yep. Your MVP, sir.
Are you ready for me to contradict myself? Mm-hmm. Velvatine.
Why? Well, yeah.
I mean, as much as I hate that they're booking a guy who literally just came off injury and lost, I think, both of his matches. Am I wrong? Or lost one and won one?
He won the first. Remember, he won the first match, and they were like,
right.
"Oh, he doesn't look a winner now, right?"
Yeah, because 50-50 booking.
Yep. Well, to be fair, though, he didn't really lose this match. He gave Roderick Strong the victory.
Yeah. So I don't know. But the spot at the end of the night, the I am the mastermind, locking the steel cage, just decimating Adam Cole. Yeah, that gives him my MVP.
So I was very close to giving it to Gargano because
I thought about it,
but I hate giving it to people that don't fight. So I also am going to give it to Velvatine Dream. By the way, I'm in love with the Velvatine Dream gimmick. It is the way it is. It's if you've been watching NXT for the last, not even like forever, but since the last 2 or 3 years, you've seen where this gimmick has came from the super cringe, stereotypical, like almost homophobic in a way gimmick. The kind of then transitioning to the the Gold Dust kind of metrosexual gimmick. To then just finding its legs and finally now it's a kind of the Prince gimmick where he's a little bit more flamboyant, but he's very sure of himself. He's confident, overconfident actually to a point. Very bold on the mic, bold in the ring, fashion statement. This gimmick has come so far. The guy has come so far. This guy used to be freaking when he come out and announced his, I don't even remember what his last name was, but like Patrick, whatever his last name was, and like he was wearing the American tights. Like,
yeah.
he's come so far. Like, my God. And this is why I love about NXT. When you see the guy, this is why I don't give up on people, because when you see the guys come in, and that's why I have hope for Cameron Grimes, because like you see they start with the overly just terrible gimmicks, and then 2, 3, 4 years down the line, they're championship contenders. So you just never know where these guys are going to end up. So just mad props to you, Velvatine. I love the gimmick. I love you in the ring. You are just fantastic. So big things are coming your way. I look forward to it. So mad props to Velvatine Dream. But we do have to move on to All Elite Wrestling live from Broomfield.
Yes, just outside Denver, Colorado. And we were feeling the Rocky Mountain high out there. My God, this crowd was hot. And we kicked things off with the Mox.
Yes, out comes Jon Moxley, the AEW World Champion, newly crowned.
I'm so proud of you, Mox. I'm so proud of you.
The crowd went nuts when he came out.
As they should.
And he just soaked it all in. He let the crowd go for a couple minutes. It was a great way to start the show.
And of course, he reminded everybody this title was never Chris Jericho's. Hell, it's not even mine. This title, the AEW World Championship, AEW is for you.
He points out that AEW, what these 3 letters represent, this represents professional wrestling.
Yeah.
And
shots.
And it's the sport that I love, that I've dedicated my life to. This belt belongs to all the fans because we brought pro wrestling back. So I will defend this belt with my life, and no one in this industry can take it. I'm not hiding from anyone. You want to take this belt? You're going to have to pry it from my cold, dead hands. And I'm no fool. I know the Inner Circle is coming for me. Well, I got a message for you, boys. I dare you.
The Inner Circle comes out to the stage. Jericho, for the very first time
ever,
walking out to a Dynamite stage without the AEW World Championship around his waist.
That was also his first loss in AEW.
He definitely sells it, but then
immediately goes, I'm still Le Champion.
You think I need a damn belt to be Le Champion?
And they even announced him later as Le Champion.
Yeah, man, because he is Le Champion. And then he kind of calls out Mox.
Kind of what we were talking about, right?
Yeah.
He says, hey, your win's based on a lie. You know, I've spent the last 3 months training to fight a one-eyed man. All my work, all my effort in the match was working on your eye, and you can see just fine.
And then he calls him the Lunatic Fringe.
Yeah. Yikes! That's a lawsuit coming.
Yeah, I definitely cringed a little when I heard that. I was like, oh well, you know, there goes half the company's worth.
We're gonna see Vince strutting up on the AEW stage one of these weeks.
I bought the competition.
It'll only be a matter of time before Shane McMahon pops up on a Titantron, right?
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
So,
he says that he turned the Inner Circle into a hit squad, and he puts the whole AEW roster on notice.
We were just a bunch of good-looking guys looking to do the right thing.
Okay, Jericho. As you've got, like, or Santana and Ortiz holding, like, the sock loaded with baseballs.
Yeah, man. Madball.
Yep.
So then Jericho says, you know what, Moxley? You know, we have a match tonight, our tag team match. You're not walking out of here under your own power. In fact, I'll wager that that you won't walk out of here. In fact, if you don't walk out of here, or if you do walk out of here, under your own 2 legs, under your own power, I'll take a leave of absence for 30 days. You know what? I'll take an absence of 60 days without pay.
Get it? Cause he's leaving? Cause Fozzy? Do you get it? Is it on the nose enough for you? To the point where the crowd starts chanting, Fozzy sucks. So at this point, I'm like done. I'm like, we just kind of praised these guys on Saturday for not pulling a WWE and like doing the stereotypical, oh, he's leaving, so something gone for months. Yep. So I was annoyed by this, and I got more annoyed as the night went on, but there's always have faith in AEW.
Always have faith in AEW.
Yes, so next we get SCU and boom, Colt Cabana.
Boom.
Versus the Dark Order. Yay.
Oh my god, I love Colt Cabana.
He's a guy.
Oh my god. His style of wrestling, his athleticism, his energy that he brings to the ring. That man.
And then SCU wins.
Yeah, so we do get a couple cool spots, and the one that I'm really going to address is the Dark Order has everybody by the back of their neck, and Evil Uno goes, throw him out of the ring. And they all go to throw them out of the ring. Evil Uno throws this guy over the ropes, and the 3 members of SCU all throw the members of the Dark Order over the ropes. So Evil Uno is doing the thing, and then he turns around and goes,
He's like, what? How did that happen? Like, guys, come on.
Yep. So we actually get the win from Colt Cabana. Colt Cabana hits the Chicago skyline into the Superman plancha pin for a 1, 2, 3, to which Evil Uno gets on the mic and goes, No! It's not supposed to happen like this!
Me too, Evil Uno. Me too.
The Exalted One, he's going to be furious! And when he arrives, SCU, he's coming for you first.
Heads are going to roll. So, yeah, me too, Evil Uno. I was not happy with the results of this match. Not just because it's Colt Cabana, but because, my God, can Dark Order please win?
Wow, that's an entire flip on its head from 6 months ago.
Yeah, you're telling me, but does SCU need the victory?
Not really.
Does Colt Cabana need the victory?
Yes.
No. Dark Order. Why did they lose this match? Why did they lose this match?
My favorite thing is Colt Cabana did an interview earlier this week with All Elite Wrestling, asking, people asking about how did you get here, and he decided he wanted to tell his story. So he's like, I wrestled in Ring of Honor with the Bucks and with Cody. He's like, and I've been friends with Hangman and with Kenny, and I knew all those guys. And he's like, I was the first person to know about All Elite Wrestling. He's like, before the company even got a name, he's like, Cody called me. He goes, hey, we have an investor who's looking to start a wrestling promotion. I think we're going to start a promotion. And I guess Colt said at least once a week since the promotion started in January of last year, he's been getting a call from the Bucks going, dude, why aren't you here yet? You should be here. Why aren't you here yet? And Colt, I got my thing with Ring of Honor, and I have this, that, and the other thing. And finally, he goes. At some point, they called me, and I just went, look, when do you want me to show up? So it's cool to see that Colt Cabana is kind of all in, and all in. Get it?
Yeah, you're clever.
And I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see where his storyline takes us.
Yeah, I just wish Dark Order would have got the win.
Oh, they're gonna start picking up dubs left and right.
Especially this is the first time where I've kind of done the eye roll thing. In a company where wins and losses matter, you can't just repeatedly force L's on guys, and then it's just, I don't know. I just think it's a little bass backwards.
Just like I said, just wait. The wins will begin to roll very quickly once the Exalted One shows up.
So next we get a little women's division action.
Swole.
Big Swole.
Swole.
Could you do that any wider?
Probably. We could get Nick Austin to do it.
Oh God, yeah. I want to see that now.
Nobody does. Nobody does.
So we get Big Swole coming out. I am in love with this gimmick, and I don't know why, but it's
I don't either.
It's just I need this theme song on my playlist, man.
Yeah, the theme's over. She's over. She is charismatic as all can be.
Oh, she's amazing, and it's remember how I feel bad because I've been calling out the librarian forever, and then she popped up
on an
episode of Dynamite, and I was like, oh, I didn't mean it. No, go away.
So you know what? Before we go ahead and say what we're going to say, you got better.
Yeah, you're
spending the last 10 weeks on Dark did some good for you.
If it makes you feel any better, you're still better than Shotzi Blackheart. So.
Well, I mean,
I don't know if you're better than Chelsea Green, but you're better than Shotzi, so that takes you somewhere, right?
I could pick someone off the street, teach them like the 5 moves that I know.
5 moves of doom?
Yeah, the 5 moves of doom, and they'd be better than Shotzi Blackheart.
Yeah, so take that as you will. But
so congrats, Leba. You've grown as a competitor slightly.
Still want you off my TV, though.
And it was kind of nice that Peter Avalon was just kind of
just there,
non-existent, except for, he was at ringside, but he didn't interfere at all.
Thank God. We didn't get any.
Nope, but we did get a book spot.
We also got Britt Baker on commentary. Can she do something?
Oh yeah, it was actually great. She brought Tony Starbucks.
Like, she's been cutting these fire promos week in and week out. She loses to, of all people, by the way, that she lost to. I can't even remember her freaking name because like she barely pops up on AEW. The fairy girl.
Yeah, Yuka.
Yuka. She loses to freaking Yuka. Like, what are you doing with Britt Baker?
Yeah. Well, like I said,
you did that whole thing where she like knocked her teeth out and like this and that, and then she hasn't had a match in weeks.
She did really good on the mic though.
Dude, she's good in the ring.
Yep.
Do something with her. You got me invested. You got me hyped, and then you took her out of the title picture. What are you doing? What is your women's division, AEW? I am like actually upset about this. Every time I see Britt Baker on like a commentary spot, I'm angry because she could be in the ring. You're giving me Leba freaking Bates, but you're not giving me Britt Baker. Take Leba Bates out. Give me Britt Baker.
Then Big Swole loses though.
Okay.
Yeah, but this is the thing. Right now it looks like maybe this is just me. It looks like they're trying to build towards Swole versus Nyla, which we want.
I'm okay with that too, but you can either Swole or Britt Baker, but do something with her. For God, if you're gonna you could do the thing where you have it be build Britt Baker up, and then it'd be Swole versus Britt Baker, and then Swole goes over to fight for the championship. At least then Britt Baker had an opportunity. Instead of her just doing nothing, who is Big Swole beating to fight Nyla Rose? Look who she has to go over, Leba Bates. They're scraps. They are really scraping the bottom of the barrel here because their women's division is lightweight, it's weak. And for some reason, they just refuse to put the talent that they do have in the ring. And the other talent they have, Miss Little Riho, never pops up. So, what is your women's division of Elite Wrestling? I am going to rip it every time because it's just bad. And I thank you, first of all, for giving the title to Nyla, but that's the only good thing you've done. That's all. You get a little brownie points for that, but that doesn't mean that you get a little round of applause. No, AEW, your women's division sucks. It's bad. Fix it. It's not that hard. It's really not. For a company that puts on, for the love of pro wrestling, your women's division is a joke. What about the women's pro wrestling, huh? We're in the middle of a women's revolution. Your women's division's the worst in the business. It's not that hard. It really isn't. Do something with them. God sakes, it's just bad, man. It's so bad. I get angry when I see it because it's unacceptable. It's a joke. It really is. What are you doing with your women's division? Why is Nyla still carrying around the toy belt? Like, what? God, it's a joke. It really is. It makes me laugh. It's so bad. I don't get it. But whatever. Big Swole does win this match as she should, but it's stupidly bad. It really is.
You are on your own there.
You think the women's division's good, Nate? Please justify that statement.
I think it's significantly improved.
Improved doesn't mean good.
But you are like losing your marbles over it.
Because it's still bad. You can improve bad and it still be bad.
I mean, Nyla's champ.
Okay. You've done one. I said that. You've done one good thing.
Statlander looks strong.
Oh, yeah. Freaky alien chick. Cool.
Okay. She looks good as a competitor. You said the love of pro wrestling, right?
Yeah, so we got Chris Statlander. We got Big Swole.
And we have Britt Baker.
And when she has a match, except she lost her last match. So we have 3 women.
Hikaru Shida.
Does anyone care about Hikaru
Shida?
Hikaru. You do. She gets like no reaction. No one cares.
I don't know. I'm just
being real. Like, no one cares about her.
Yeah.
And I mean, at least Statlander was over.
Maybe this is a me thing for when it comes to the Britt Baker situation. I think what they're trying to do right now is build Britt's character as hard as they can while Swole has her run at the belt. And then when Swole is done, I think Britt is the one to dethrone Nyla.
So, what are you going to do then? Are you going to have... Okay, who are you going to have Swole fight? I mean, you had her fight Cleva friggin' Bates. Now she's going to have to take a... What? She's going to have to fight probably Chris Statlander, and she's going to have to probably fight Hikaru. That's all you've got that are talent that I go, yeah, they have a chance to
What about Riho?
If she shows up. If you can get Riho to pop up.
If you can get Riho for one episode of Dynamite.
If you can get Riho to pop up, then I'll give you that, but... That's if you can get her to show up.
If you can get her to show up for one episode of Dynamite.
And that's just another problem. You shouldn't have to go, if I can get this person that's really talented and really good to maybe pop up on my show. Like,
well, it's because she's super dedicated to
to this
Shining Star Wrestling, Japan wrestling star. Wrestling.
That's what happens when you roll the dice and you stake your claim on someone like Riho and then they just don't fully commit. God,
yeah, this would have been like if Matt Riddle stayed in Evolve because that was his home.
Yep.
WWE, I really love your offer, but I'm gonna have to turn it down.
Don't even say Matt Riddle. If we're gonna do a 1-to-1 comparison, because Riho was the girl. She's the first AEW Women's Champion. This would have been like them doing that to like Adam Cole or Keith
Kenny.
Lee. Yeah, Kenny someone that being Kenny, I love AEW, but
I'm on top of New Japan.
New Japan's my home.
Yeah. like AJ Styles would have stayed in New Japan.
Yeah, if AJ Styles, I love WWE, but New Japan's my home.
Yeah, these are all the dreams I ever wanted, but New Japan's my home.
For God's sake, she's I said it before, she's the first thing you see when an episode of Dynamite pops up. Yeah. She's on all the promo packages for Dynamite. When I'm working out at Planet Fitness, when they're doing promo commercials for AEW, they show Riho.
Yep.
So it's just...
I think there's hope for this push. Do I like the direction they went this week? No. But I think there's still hope for this push. Like you said about the Jericho thing, never lose faith. We did get the Nyla title run finally.
Oh, I was gonna be done if that didn't happen. I was ready to cut the TV off and go to sleep if somehow Riho had won that match. So didn't even care.
So next we get the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. And Cody's here to talk about MJF, because that's how he was saying it.
MJF.
Maxwell Jacob Friedman. He says, I don't know if I want to open up what it felt like personally to lose to MJF, but professionally, everybody's always wanting to get on a pay-per-view card, and the winner takes home more. They get the winner's purse, as JR always says, and the loss, the beatings, the whippings, the cage match, the ring. I could be okay with it. I could come to terms with it if MJF would come out here, look me in the eyes, and tell me he beat me fair and square.
And out comes Jake the Snake Roberts.
To which your immediate reaction was,
Huh? Why? Because I'm immediately going, oh God, here we go, another tired old vet. AEW, get out there!
Hey, we're gonna wheel Jake the Snake Roberts out, and he's gonna fight Cody. Well, Jake gets in the ring, and
by the way, again, shouts to. Aside from my initial reaction, big shouts to Jake the Snake because of everything you've been through, my guy.
So, first of all, you look fantastic for your age.
Yes,
you are in significantly better shape. Thank you,
he was on his
DDPY.
deathbed a couple years ago.
Yeah, and to be clean, after being an addict for so long, to finally be clean, and you address this in your promo. Props to you, man. You deserve it. You deserved your minute in the sun.
Absolutely.
And it sounds like he's going to be around to stay. So Jake the Snake comes out and he says,
I'm tired of listening to you crying, bitch.
And then he, I'm sorry. Hail Caesar.
Caesar. Oh, it was so good.
Your promo work is fantastic.
He's still that even as a young man, he was that crotchety heel. Like, it's fantastic.
And, look, Cody, that's not why I'm out here. I'm out here because I have a client. My client. I have a client who will be coming here, and he is going to serve your head up on a platter.
The dark side will be coming to AEW.
And, a snake takes what it wants. I didn't come to AEW to take over. I don't want the whole damn pie. Just your share. And a wise man once said, never turn your back on someone you respect or someone you fear.
Chills. So good. So good. Jake the Snake, your promo work is still one of the best, still the best in the business. So good.
After 20 years of fighting to get clean, you are in a professional wrestling ring years after your career started.
The way he got in, he was like rubbing the ropes. Just
it looked like he was going to cry.
Smelling the scent, soaking it all in. It was so emotional. It was great.
Oh, Caesar, mighty Caesar. I can't wait to see where this goes. Jake is so good on the mic.
I can't wait to see who his client is.
I personally think that it's going to be Lance Archer. And it's only because Archer did not debut on the episode which he was supposed to. This was supposed to be his debut episode. I would guess it's going to be Lance Archer. Maybe they did some outreach and, maybe not as many people have heard of him as they had thought. Because, they've had a couple of debuts where people have been like, who are you? Like The Butcher and the Blade, where people were like, who? What?
It could also be, this was what I immediately thought. I think it's going to be Luke Harper.
Oh, yeah, Brody Lee. That would be a perfect one. And
because I mean, I love Brody Lee. I love Luke Harper for WWE guys, but I mean, he's another one of those guys where can his name alone really sustain him on the indie scene? Probably not, especially with a name like Brody Lee. Like, it's not the most unique name, not something you're gonna like immediately gravitate to. So I feel like, and his gimmick has always been the darker, like kind of out there gimmick. So I feel like maybe something like this could help him out too.
So we'll definitely find out in the coming weeks because Brody Lee's set to debut in 2 weeks.
It's gonna be Montecueto.
Huh?
It's gonna be Montecueto.
Matanza Cueto.
Matanza
yeah,
Cueto,
they're gonna have
yeah.
Jeff Cobb come back in, except in a gimp suit, basically.
Yep, again. Like, God dang it, I just got rid of this thing.
Yeah, no. If they were gonna do that, then they would have his manager be Dario Cueto.
This was great.
It was a great promo. I can't wait to see where it goes. And we go from one high to maybe the lowest point of
This
the
was some... No, I don't think this wasn't the lowest, because nothing's going to get lower than the women's match for me. But this was definitely up.
Pac versus
Chucky T?
Trent.
Wasn't it? Was it Trent? I thought it was Chucky T.
I don't know. I thought they said Trent.
Nah, it was Chucky T, homie.
I'm not paying attention.
Yeah, it was Chucky T, Chuck Taylor, the Chuckmeister. Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah, it was,
The Kentucky Gentleman.
yeah, versus the Bastard Pac. This was a thing.
Pac wins.
Pac wins.
And we get the debut of Death Triangle.
I can see it now. Them just coming out, putting up like the Undisputed Era of the trial. And whereas Pax, he gives the mic to the Lucha Bros and says, or as my friends say it in Spanish, is it, I'm gonna butcher this, by the way.
Triangulos
Triangulos,
de la Muerte.
De la Muerte. My Spanish is horrible. I took 3 years of it, but that was years ago. Yeah.
I didn't take any, so
Yeah, it was,
I don't feel quite as bad.
No, but yeah, Death Triangle.
We sound like Beto O'Rourke.
No, we sound like what's his name from Monday Night Raw trying to roll his R's.
Hamilton.
Umberto Carrillo. Like, huh?
Yes, so Death Triangle.
It's almost as bad as your Triangle of Terror gimmick from 2K.
The difference is the Triangle of Terror gimmick, at least it's like 3 legit, awesome, big, giant dudes. Death Triangle is 2 luchadors and a British dude.
With a weird...
Scottish.
Scottish dude with an angry
British,
face.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, Death Triangle. Inner
With
Circle.
Schmiegel's hair.
Inner Circle. Death Triangle. These are... The Dark Order. These are some great
Like AEW, I love you guys, but y'all need to work on your dark stable names.
You took a lot of things from TNA. You didn't take the stables from them. Because
No.
that was... At least TNA stables were always on point. Minus the Beatdown Club. That was like the only one where I was like, really, guys? The Beatdown Club? Clan. Even worse. But but yeah, Death Triangle, that is a name. I mean, at least Inner Circle is kind of grown, and it's, they're kind of starting to transition it to the Playmaker Posse. So
I still love the Inner Circle.
It's a name. Playmaker Posse, I think, definitely sounds cooler. But yeah, Death Triangle, that is a thing. They are now a stable. It's Pac and the Lucha Bros. Which, why are you you really want so badly for the Lucha Bros to be heel, and no one's gonna buy it.
Painmaker Posse isn't the name of the Inner Circle. It's the name of Jericho's group. It's like the Bullet Club, you know. He's got the Painmaker Posse, and then when he leaves, we'll get the next group. It'll be like, the OG Bullet Club to the Elite.
Well, there's only 5 of them, so who would only be the Paymaker Posse?
Yeah, Jericho, Sammy, Hager, and the other 2. But no, there's gonna be somebody else. Whoever takes the lead when Jericho leaves.
I see. So it'll be like Jericho leaves, and then it's like who would it be?
MJF. And he might just take control.
Maybe. He did call out Jericho later on.
That's fair.
But yeah. So Death Triangle.
Cero miedo. Death Triangle, Cero Miedo.
So next we get my boy Sean Spears, and
he's looking for a tag team partner.
Looking for someone to
Instagram.
join him. What is Sean Spears' AEW career? Look, dude, I thought you were underused in WWE. What the hell are they doing with you in AEW?
So they've talked about this a little bit outside of kayfabe, where it's they like Sean Spears, but they want him to be in a tag team. They like Sean Spears in a tag team because he's been in a couple of tag matches, both on Dynamite and on Dark, and they love his work in a tag team. Not that he would be a bad singles competitor, but they just love his work in a tag team.
So you're saying they're going to take a single star and then another single star and then put them in a tag team?
Yes, precisely. Well, no. They're going to take a single star and some random dude off Instagram and then put them in a tag team.
And that makes it better?
Yeah, because he's from Instagram. It's like Braun and Nicholas. You can't fight against. I mean,
hey, maybe one of us will get selected as Sean Spears' partner.
Yeah, Sean. You want fight mode, Nick?
I was gonna say I'd love to see how the irony of you being in a pickup tag team, right? You'd be the one to take the pinfall.
Oh yeah, 100%. I'd eat a pinfall. That's fine, dude. I'll eat a V trigger. I'm cool with that. Kenny, right here, buddy.
So again, this is another one of those things where I just go, "What are you doing with my guy Sean? Man, I love Sean Spears. I loved the chairman of AEW gimmick. Like, what do you?" The AEW, you're making me sad this week, man. You're making me sad. What?
But hey, I mean, let's get a little pick-me-up.
Yeah.
QT Marshall.
Yay! This makes me feel so much better.
QT Marshall is taking on Jake Hager.
In his second match, he goes from Dustin Rhodes to
QT Marshall.
Yep. That's how that goes.
Yeah, Hager wins.
Just like there's any doubt.
Standing triangle
thing. Death triangle. It's like the.
I just noticed.
It's like the thing from Dragon Ball Z, like that. What's his name does? Tien, the like thing he does.
So, 2 of their 3 heel stables are named after shapes.
Inner Circle and Death Triangle. Oh, that doesn't make it better. Oh, that just... I'm like ready to walk out, man.
I'm just waiting for them to add somebody else and it'd be Death Trapezoid.
Death Trap. The
Death Rhombus.
The menacing, I don't even know, like Psycho Square.
Jesus Christ.
Like really scraping the bottom of the barrel here, guys. I didn't even I literally did not even realize that.
Yeah.
Oh god, that is All Elite Wrestling. For the love of pro wrestling. My god.
So after the Hager match, the Inner Circle attacks. Dustin gets in the ring. That's to no avail. Cody comes out, saves the day, clears the ring, gets clocked from behind.
Yeah, Ortiz clocked him with a steel chair.
Matt Jackson saves the day. Just kidding. And then Hangman Adam Page stumbles.
Literally stumbles
out onto the ramp.
Beer in hand.
Gets in the ring. Ortiz is staring him down, and he goes, wait a minute. And he sets his beer down on top of the ring post. Clears the ring. Knocks everybody out.
By the way, of the men that came out to clear the ring, of Cody, of Dustin, of Matt Jackson, Hangman got the biggest pop out of all of them. This guy is so ridiculously over. It's nuts. It's nutty, man. Like, I don't get it. What is the... I love Hangman Page. And I was kind of being facetious when I said, like, when I was like, nah, man, it's outside of Chicago. It is out of Chicago. It is... This dude is over everywhere.
I don't get it.
He's the future, man. He's the future of this company. I love it.
You know what he's not the future of?
What?
A beer swelling competition.
Yeah, no, he's got that Aaron Rodgers takedown. He is really bad at chugging beers. How can your gimmick be an alcoholic and you suck at downing beers?
All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead and move along.
Well, we do got to talk about it. So Hangman,
yes.
He saves the day. He actually gets sent out the ring, and then he hangs on like very clumsily,
Wow.
and then hits the buckshot lariat. And then right as they're wrapping up the segment, he flips off Matt Jackson, and then goes, grabs another beer, and leaves.
Yep. Well, Hangman doesn't care about coronavirus.
Nope, not at all. So next we get a
MJF.
promo from MJF. You want to go ahead and break this one down?
All of the chills. So MJF comes out and he's talking about, obviously talking about his match with Cody, and he goes, this was the last chapter in Cody's story, but I have a ton of ink to pen my own story. And that story will say MJF, greatest world champion of all time. And don't tune your channel away. Don't adjust your hearing or your volume. You heard me correctly. And you heard me too, Moxley. In fact, I will do everything it takes to stay undefeated here in All Elite Wrestling.
Oh, Wardlow, it's getting a little hot in here.
Yeah.
Can you help me out with my jacket?
And I'll tell you why. I'm better than you, and my God, Wardlow, it's hot in here.
Yeah, it has Wardlow take off the coat to underneath. He's wearing a I pinned Cody t-shirt.
Oh, I'm so sorry. This t-shirt is just, it's loud, it's annoying, it's regrettable. Kind of like a neck tattoo, don't you think?
Woo! Woo-hoo! Shots fired. Bang, bang.
Come on, Wardlow, I'm done with this.
Yeah, a little shot at Cody there, because the internet was ripping him a new one with that tattoo. It didn't look bad tonight. Like, it's kind of growing on me a little bit, so.
And then we get the tag team match.
The main event.
Sammy Guevara and Le Champion, Chris Jericho.
Versus Darby Allin and Jon Moxley.
Until three very cleverly placed guys in luchador masks attack him from behind.
I didn't notice it the first time. And then we had to kind of rewind it. We're like, oh, that's very obvious.
There's a Puerto Rican flag hanging out of one of them.
Yeah, so they jump Moxley in the crowd into the inner circle. They drag him out to the outer area,
out to
the concessions
concourse
area, and they beat him down. And you have Hager at one point smacking him with a full garbage can.
Yep, we get the garbage thrown on top of him. The lid of the garbage can apparently was metal.
Yes.
He gets smacked with that on the knee, the head, the elbow.
And then Hager chokes him out.
Hager makes him go night-night.
So now it's Darby Allin in a 1v2.
No, it's Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara versus Darby Allin and Darby Allin.
Yes.
Which we find out later.
So Darby was doing amazing, as best as he can, this 1v2, fighting off Jericho and Sammy Guevara. Again, every time I see Darby and Sammy, man, that's just the future of this company.
Yeah,
they look so good. And Jericho, kind of played his kind of a side role, let the two youngsters go at it. And then you see at one point, it's Darby and and Jericho. They're both going for the tag. Jericho tags in Sammy.
And of course, there's no one in Darby's corner, so he pulls himself up, looks the ref in the eyes, and goes, and the ref calls a tag.
And then, like a new man emerging, like the phoenix rising from the ashes.
Oh, okay, Jake.
Darby Allin hot tags himself and then goes to work on Sammy Guevara.
Yes, hits the float over stunner on Guevara, then hits the coffin drop
on the entirety of the inner circle.
Yes. And then, of course,
And then
back in the ring. Sorry, float over stunner. Coffin drop. 1, 2. Jericho goes to break up the pin. Darby, the smarter man, moves out of the way. Jericho clocks Sammy.
He then tosses Jericho out of the ring, goes for a tope suicida,
And Darby's dead.
Gets caught flush right in the face by a Judas effect mid-air.
By God, that man has a family.
Night-night. Time to go. Night-night, Darby.
And he sold that very well, assuming that was selling and not genuinely being knocked out.
Nah, he's gone. He dead. So they throw Darby's limp carcass back in the center of the ring.
His lifeless body.
For the not even another move after that. Just throw him in the ring. 1, 2,
This is like a
3.
full 10, 15 seconds after the move too. So he's gone.
Yeah, Judas Effect still has not been kicked out of. 1, 2, 3 for the inner circle victory, but then the spot that I was calling, I was like, oh, here it comes. Moxley makes his way
on his own 2 feet.
Yep, back at the end of the night. I was like, yep, this is how they do it. So Moxley comes out, wielding a steel chair, gets in the ring, uses it once, and then throws it down. Which I thought was, I was like...
It's a paradigm shift on Guevara. The ring is clear.
Jericho noped out of the ring as soon as Moxley got in.
Moxley surrounded, the ring is cleared, and then Jake Hager clocks him from behind.
Drags Moxley up to the
Santana
stage, beating him down the whole way. And then a triple powerbomb.
Unleash the Cerberus.
Shield style. Through not 1, but 2 tables off the stage.
And all of a sudden, John Moxley's not walking out under his own 2 feet.
They all give Moxley the middle finger at the end. The inner circle standing tall. So
and Le Champion isn't going anywhere.
So subverting expectations. AEW not doing what we all thought was going to happen. Jericho did not walk out. They're not pulling the, oh, he's going to go away now, like, type of thing. So
that was a very, very classic,
huge
very
swerve.
Smart move by AEW to realize, look, the fans are going to know that Jericho is going to, like, he's going to lose this match, or Moxley's going to walk out, whatever.
Yeah.
And this just goes to prove the creative at AEW going, well, if it's so obvious, then why don't we just do the opposite? What?
So I am interested to see how they do write Jericho off TV.
I mean, it can't be that hard. He's the lead singer of Fozzy. Just go, hey, I'm going to be here a little bit less. Literally just talk to the inner circle. Like, in the backstage, and just be like, hey, guys, I just want to let you know I'm going to be here a little bit less. Fozzy and I are going on tour.
Well, the fact that they just did this thing of, oh no, we're going on a rampage the next couple weeks, so like you can't like really walk that back.
Well, the tour's not going to be. The tour itself isn't going to take place for a while.
Which is why I'm saying I'm interested to see how they end up writing it, because I don't think it'll just be a conversation. They'll do something where like Moxley like assaults him and like beats him down bad.
Retirement match.
Something. I mean, we'll see. So we're getting to the end here of our battery life. So match of the night for AEW.
This is a tough one. I liked a lot of the matches tonight in AEW. I'm going to go with SCU and Colt Cabana versus the Dark Order.
I am going to go with our 1v2 Darby Allin versus the Inner Circle.
Yeah, that was a great match. I loved it. Something about Colt Cabana, man. But my MVP tonight is going to be Darby Allin. Darby, not just for your performance in the ring, but the fact that you were able to compete in a 20-minute match where you were going 100% the whole time. Also for posting on Instagram later that you were in the hospital for the second time in 2 months.
So my MVP so badly wants to and probably needs to be Darby Allin, but because I don't know how more opportunities I'm going to have to say this, my MVP tonight is going to be Jake the Snake Roberts.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to take mine back because, Jesus, Darby, what Oh. But Jake, welcome back to the ring, man. We're excited to have you.
So, last segment of the night before we cut away, it's going to be the NXT versus AEW. This is going to be a little bit quicker than normal just because, again...
Battery life?
Yeah, we're kind of reaching the end of our battery here, GoPros, you know. So, my show of the night is going to be NXT. I thought, top to bottom, NXT was just a little bit, not even a little bit, but I thought was quite better than AEW tonight. Women's matches aside for both, because Shotzi Blackheart is a thing, and AEW's women's division is also a thing. But, yeah, I thought NXT put on fantastic matches all throughout the night. Promo works from everybody was amazing. So my show of the night is going to be NXT.
Well, it should come as no shock that my show of the night is going to be NXT.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever.
Now hear me out.
Actually, technically second time, but we don't talk about the unaired episode.
Now hear me out. NXT put on 2 steel cage matches. They put on a tag team classic. And they put on a fantastic match with Austin Theory. Making it show of the night. But if you ask me which one I cared more about,
oh God,
it would not be that. I'm just, again, it's so hard to invest in their storylines. Except, Ciampa and Gargano. I'm very invested in that.
How is it hard to invest in Velvatine and Roddy? They've been building that forever.
Yes, they've been building that for 3 weeks.
No, that was built. That's how he got injured. Yeah, it was the storyline with Roderick Strong before.
And now we're going on to the Adam Cole storyline, and that's going to be interesting. And then, I'm invested in the Tegan Nox storyline.
I was going to say, Tegan Nox has definitely been around.
I don't know, man. It's just...
That's your girl.
Yeah, I know. This, like I said...
Oh, you're invested in the Death Triangle?
Got me on that one. Hey, man. Want to see where that goes?
It's okay. No,
no. NXT definitely put on the better show this week. It's not that AEW put on a bad show by any stretch of the imagination.
No, they didn't. They didn't put on a bad show. They did have 2 things that made me go.
Yeah.
So
I was not a huge fan of Leva Bates existing.
Neither was I a fan of Shotzi Blackheart ever being a thing.
Yeah.
So.
But you know what? I think between the two, obviously tonight, NXT takes a cake. But if I had to give my update on where the Wednesday Night Wars are, AEW's kicking ass, and it's showing in the ratings, except for 1 week.
No, there's been a couple weeks that NXT has taken from. It's just more recently AEW has been definitely beating NXT rating wise.
There is only one.
There is
segment that has beaten the AEW segment that aired opposite it. One.
In the last couple of weeks, you'd have to maybe do re-look at that one, because I've seen articles talked about NXT for a while was on a stretch of knocking AEW out of the win there. So I do a little bit more research on that. I can tell you one reason as to why people are justifying AEW going over NXT more recently, and that's because, as we discovered, NXT actually still airs on the WWE Network. So if people if you're a WWE guy and AEW guy, and you go, I can only watch one or the other, the only place you can see AEW on is live on TNT if you don't have a DVR. So what makes more sense, watching AEW live and then going back on the network, and you can watch the full episode of NXT. So that's something Triple H talked about that too, how they are attributing that more to why AEW has probably been winning more recently in the ratings, because you can watch NXT at any time. You can only catch AEW live on TNT. So that does attribute a little bit more to AEW's success, I'd say. Not saying that's the only, for God's sakes, it's definitely not the only reason, because AEW's a fantastic, but that's definitely, I would say, a huge part of it too, is that NXT you can catch on demand on WWE Network. So for only $9.99, I'm kidding.
So NXT definitely took the cake this week. But you know what?
I would love to talk about this a lot more because this is a big thing. That hasn't happened before, but we are getting really towards the end. So.
The one thing I do want to say is, out of everything I saw tonight, and like I said, just about everything tonight was great. Nothing made me feel better, made me feel more emotional than the spot with Jake Roberts. Like, NXT had a better show, I'll admit it. There was not a single spot that made me feel the way that seeing Jake the Snake come down to the ring, and just the way that, like, we talk about the emotion that you saw on Edge's face when he came out at the Royal Rumble, the way that he got in the ring and was just taking it all in.
You know, this is something that we're going to talk about actually on Sunday during the weekend wrap-up, because we're going to do... I do find that we don't have a lot of time really to kind of compare and contrast our shows normally on the Wednesdays, so we're going to have a segment where we kind of talk a little bit more in depth about just comparing mainly segments between NXT and AEW, because I would like to talk about the Johnny Gargano segment actually versus the Jake the Snake Roberts promo, because it's interesting you say I did feel a lot of emotion from Jake the Snake, but it's funny, the way I felt about Jake the Snake kind of mirrored how I felt about Mauro Ranallo in that segment. But yeah, we're definitely at the end here.
We got our 5-minute little blinky.
Yeah, so for the first time ever, NXT, unanimous decision on our show of the night. So as always, make sure you follow our social medias. Links are down in the description. We're on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. The Wrevolution Pro Wrestling Podcast is found on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, Google Play Podcasts, and of course, Podbean.
Love you guys.
Yes. So, as always, I am your Wrevolution Pro Wrestling Podcast World Champion, Marcus White.
And I'm the guy with new glasses and a new haircut, Nick Cavalli.
And as always,
live from Studio 6. Can't forget that.
Don't forget to subscribe to join
the Revolution. Have a good night.
Have a great morning.
Morning, night, whatever. Happy Sunday. Saturday. It's Saturday.
We're tired.